protects the lives and property of Nigerians. President Trump plans to shut down 30 U.S. embassies, mostly in Africa. Plus, leaders in sub-Saharan Africa are making commitments towards polio eradication. President Bola Tinubu congratulates Christians across the country as they commemorate this year's Holy Week. In a statement, the president expressed his steadfast commitment to delivering a renewed hope and fostering a better, more just and prosperous Nigeria for all. Regarding the recent tragic incidents and loss of lives in some parts of the country, President Tinubu assured that the administration's resolve to restore peace and security remains unshakable. He stated that he has issued clear directives to the armed forces and all relevant security agencies to decisively end insecurity without delay. Christians worldwide are observing this year's Good Friday as part of the Easter celebration. Messages from world leaders have emphasized themes of sacrifice and humanity in the context of the ongoing global, social and economic crisis. Musa Baba Aliu has the details.
The Via Dolorosa, or Path of Sorrow, is located in the old city of Jerusalem, Israel. This route is traditionally believed to be the path that Jesus walked while carrying his cross before his crucifixion. On Good Friday, dozens of Christians participate in a procession along the street, commemorating the significant day. The celebration is not limited to Jerusalem. Christian communities around the world observe it as well. In the northwestern city of Zamora, Spain, thousands of Catholics and atheists alike solemnly commemorate the death and resurrection of Jesus. In the United Kingdom, King Charles, in his Easter message, emphasized the virtue of faith, hope, and love within society. He also expressed deep admiration for resilience, courage, and compassion shown by humanitarian workers. In the United States, President Donald Trump recognized the importance of Holy Week and called for the protection of religious liberty in public policy. He noted that Holy Week serves as a time of reflection for Christians to honor the crucifixion of Jesus. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Activities commemorating the crucifixion of Jesus Christ on the cross of Calvary commenced with Good Friday services in churches in Abuja. Amarachuku Umenka reports that messages of love and sacrifice resonated in the sermons delivered at these special services.
Good Friday is a significant day in the Christian calendar, observed on the Friday before Easter. It commemorates the crucifixion and death of Jesus Christ, as worshippers converged here from far and near to join in the celebration. Archbishop of the Methodist Church Nigeria, Archdiocese of Abuja, Most Reverend Michael Akiwale, reminded Christian faithful to use this period to promote peace and national coexistence.
Today, we can say that the foundation of Christianity itself was laid by the death of Christ on the cross. And that is what we are solemnly celebrating, giving thanks to God.
At the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, Church of the Epiphany, Venerable Ifeanyi Akuna encourages the congregants to reflect on the virtues of love, peace, and goodwill, which the central message of Easter is anchored.
We often offend ourselves in relationships, in the nation, in our offices, in our schools, in our churches, in our families. We must learn to forgive one another and to move on.
At the Baptist Church Abuja, Reverend Tam Tokmatori urges Nigerians to revive their spirit, which is the essence of the celebration.
Nigeria as a country can be great, but for Nigeria to be great, it needs people who will sacrifice, who will give, not for their own selfish gains, but for the benefit of the country, for the blessings of the generality of the people.
Prayers were offered for sustainable peace, unity and development in the country. In Abuja, Umenka Mrachuku, NTA News.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, orders watertight security during Easter celebration. The IGP directs all commissioners of police in state commands and formations to ensure watertight security arrangements through enhanced visibility, policing, heightened vigilance, and proactive intelligence gathering to guarantee a safe and secure Easter celebration for all citizens. The IGP also stresses the importance of strategic deployment of personnel to worship centers, recreational venues, major highways and other public spaces to deter criminal activities and provide swift responses to any security threats that may arise. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, says the synchronized polio vaccination campaign across sub-Saharan Africa marks a critical milestone in the President Bola Tinubu's administration commitment to eradicating polio. Speaking at the official launch of the campaign in N'Djamena, Chad, Professor Pate emphasized Nigeria's resolve to stop the transmission of circulating variants poliovirus type 2, especially in high-risk and hard-to-reach areas. He noted that Nigeria has already responded to recent detections in Nguru, Yobe State with targeted immunization campaigns and is ramping up surveillance and coordination along its borders.
It's a tall order, but we are committed to achieving that goal. And we recognize that this can only be achieved through a shared responsibility, transparent coordination, and unified execution across our borders.
The Southwest geopolitical zone has become the 5th region in the country to join the Free to Shine triple elimination campaign train. And this follows the flag off of the campaign by the Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, in Akure, the Ondo State capital. State House correspondent Adeniyi Taiwo has the details.
According to UNAIDS statistics of 2019, Southwest Nigeria posts HIV/AIDS prevalence ratio of 1.1% among adults aged 15 to 49, with a slightly higher prevalence among females standing at 1.5% compared to males of 0.8%. Oluwatomilayo's piece on positive lifestyle as a requirement for healthy youth set the stage for Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu to flag off the Free to Shine triple elimination campaign in the zone. Focused on prevention, the launch of the campaign aims to further scale down prevalence among target groups, particularly women of reproductive age and young children.
Also, it is reported that most infants born to HIV-positive mothers are not tested within the first 2 months of birth, largely due to the fact that the mothers are not aware or they are ignorant of the consequences of their inaction. The goal of this campaign is to address the growing complacency in the response to the spread of HIV/AIDS in Africa.
While emphasizing the need to deepen engagement with all stakeholders, the First Lady also highlights the imperative of rolling back the culture of stigmatization against sufferers and survivors of the disease.
I want to commend the association and members of the Association of People Living with HIV/AIDS for their testimonies. Their stories serve as a powerful reminder of resilience and hope, inspiring others living with HIV/AIDS to seek the support and treatment they deserve with courage.
As we flag off the triple elimination campaign, we do so with the hope that no woman will have to fear preventable disease during pregnancy. We hope that no child will inherit a burden that science has already conquered.
The request made for free or heavily subsidized liver and kidney function tests for Nigerians living with HIV/AIDS is receiving the attention of the National AIDS and STI Control Program. And we're working with the National Health Insurance Agency to get such people covered so that they can enjoy the laboratory tests that they need without any financial hardship.
This campaign is about action at every level, local, national, and global. It's about empowering women, engaging men, and educating communities.
With the successful launch of the campaign in the Southwest, the Southeast is the only zone waiting to be activated. From Akure in Ondo State, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
The Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Student Engagement is planning a summit of students in higher institutions to tackle the rampaging incident of drug abuse plaguing Nigerian youth, inauguration of a committee against drug abuse in campuses under the chairmanship of Professor Jerry Ugokwe. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Student Engagement, Sunday Afeson, said the committee will visit all campuses in Nigeria with messages of abstinence from drug use, while the summit will help to aggregate the views of young people on the matter, which will be forwarded to the NDLEA to assist them in planning their strategies to curb the trend.
If the president has promised to give us future, and there's some things that I don't want that promises, that vision to come to stay, we have that mandate to now see how we can work against those things that don't want that promise of president to come to stay.
We have chosen 26th of July 2025 as a date that we are going to have a national convergence of all students across the nation in Abuja to address the issue of student vices. After that, then we can do what we call the zonal convergences, which will go across the 6 geopolitical zones.
The federal government is taking steps to strengthen cooperatives in order to enhance their contribution to the country's economic growth. Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, stated that a revitalized cooperative sector would empower Nigerians and foster prosperity, helping to integrate cooperatives into the goal of achieving a $1 trillion economy within the next decade. The minister made these remarks during the flag-off ceremony for the National Training Workshop aimed at trustees, management, committees and managers of cooperative society in Nigeria as part of the Southeast and South-South Cooperative Stakeholders Forum.
To review the Nigerian Cooperative Societies Act, number 98, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to align with current realities. Even the definition of cooperatives, based on the study of review and in line with the International Cooperative Alliance, we will need to align to global best practice so that we will attract even those who are in the diaspora who will wish to be members of cooperatives so that they can also contribute in asset mobilization. Number 2, we are developing or reviewing the national cooperative policy to align with the vision of the Renewed Hope Agenda and our National Development Plan. We're also looking at the regulatory framework and standard operating guidelines for cooperative societies. We are aware.
You're watching the news on NTA International. Let's take some time out for messages.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you. In your living room, office, and everywhere, anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, Go TV channel, and to watch NTA International in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. Use the following satellite parameters. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has met with his Iranian counterpart Abbas Araghchi in Moscow to discuss bilateral issues, including Russia's mediation in negotiations between the US and Iran on Tehran's nuclear program. Francis Udojo has the details.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says his country is ready to help mediate and play any role that is from Iran's perspective and would be useful and acceptable to the United States. However, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has cast doubt over the intentions of the United States a day before a second round of nuclear talks with Washington. The new round will come a week after the longtime foes held their highest-level negotiations since U.S. President Donald Trump abandoned a landmark nuclear deal in 2018. Russia, which commands the world's largest confirmed arsenal of nuclear weapons, has deepened its military ties with Iran since it launched its offensive on Ukraine in February 2022. Similarly, far-right Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni welcomes U.S. Vice President James David Vance in Rome, a day after she met with U.S. President Donald Trump in Washington on a charm offensive aiming for a U.S.-EU tariffs deal.
In any case, Italy and the United States are committed to enhance their strong cooperation. We think Italy can be a reliable and a serious partner in Europe, in the Mediterranean area, and so we are proud to have this special relation.
Vance says important issues to discuss with Meloni include economic relationships and the negotiations with Russia and Ukraine.
I want to update the Prime Minister on some of the negotiations between Russia, Ukraine, and also some of the things that have happened. Even in the past 24 hours, we think we have some interesting things to report on, of course, in private. So these negotiations, I won't prejudge them, but we do feel optimistic that we can hopefully bring this war, this very brutal war, to a close.
He says, and I quote, "I will not prejudge them, but we do feel optimistic that we can hopefully bring this very brutal war, to a close." End of quote. Francis Udojo, NTA News.
The Trump administration is considering a significant reduction in the United States diplomatic presence worldwide, with a proposal to close nearly 30 embassies and consulates, over half of which are located in Africa. Francis Udojo reports that this initiative is part of a broader plan to cut the State Department's budget by nearly 50%, aiming to reduce foreign aid by approximately 75%.
Internal State Department document, the proposed closure include embassies in Lesotho, Eritrea, the Central African Republic, the Republic of Congo, the Gambia, and South Sudan. Additionally, consulates in Durban, South Africa, and Douala, Cameroon, are slated for closure, with their responsibility potentially being transferred to neighboring countries. Critics of the proposal expressed concern that reducing the U.S. diplomatic footprint in Africa could diminish American influence on the continent, especially as other global powers such as China continue to expand their presence. They argue that such closures could hinder diplomatic relations, economic partnerships, and the promotion of democratic values. The administration's plan also includes the potential closure of embassies in European countries like Malta and Luxembourg, as well as consulates in various cities across Europe and Asia. These proposed changes are part of a larger effort to streamline government operations and reduce federal spending. Meanwhile, the United States has issued a strong call for Rwanda to withdraw its forces from the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and immediately cease all support for the M23 rebel group, deepening Washington's stance on the ongoing crisis in the region. During a digital press briefing, U.S. underscored that Rwanda's military involvement in Eastern DRC is unacceptable and a key driver of instability. The U.S. officials emphasized that while both the Congolese army and M23 are implicated in abuses, the scale and systematic nature of atrocities committed by the M23 warrant urgent international condemnation and action. Francis Udojo, NTA News.
Social responsibility into organizations' DNA. Public relations become a tool for authentic storytelling rather than just reputation management. This was the thrust of discussion at the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations with the topic, Sinking Profits and Social Responsibility for Sustainable Public Relations Practice. Haman Jabani reports.
Impact of profit and social responsibility is believed to be crucial for sustainable public relations, as the future of PR lies in balancing purpose and profit, where social responsibility is not a cost but a driver of innovation and brand loyalty. While aligning goals with societal benefit, organizations can build resilient reputations. In his presentation, Adetukumbo Modupe says in the era of quick-fix hand-out budget, impulsive or ad hoc interventions without correlation with overall business profit remains only with dishonest, not to be trusted organizations. As they continue to operate on one leg of profiteering, their reputational vulnerability will age delicately. Moderating the session, Executive Director of Programs, Nigerian Television Authority, Tari Taylor, believes that to align profit and social responsibility in public service, businesses must first integrate ethical values in their core operations.
That's why we exist, to serve the Nigerian people, to inform, to educate, to entertain, to basically promote the values and the national identity for Nigerians. So even though we want to make profit, even though that is very important to us, we would never compromise on our constitutional mandate, and we would always find a path to walk so that we can navigate those two responsibilities with wisdom and in sincerity.
Some of the participants speak.
You must have reputation intact, and the more you are able to at least maintain your reputation intact, the better you'll be able to be a credible voice where people will be able to at least listen to what you said and be able to act on the government's direction. As a spokesperson, you generate information and you share that information, and the credibility of your voice depending on the kind of reputation you have.
Everything they have complained like a pain point, we're able to deal with it earlier in Kwara, so it doesn't give us any problem. But we're taking back citizens' engagement, we're taking back to be more humane in our interaction with our constituency.
In trying to assess and get equipped with new ideas and new materials for the job is a great thing.
For PR to be truly sustainable, it must help organizations do good such that profit and purpose are not in conflict but mutually reinforcing. Haman Jabani, NTA News.
The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, says professionalism in the nation's public relations practice remains sacrosanct and will not be compromised under any circumstances. The strong stance was reiterated at an award and dinner night of the second Nigeria Spokesperson Summit held in Abuja. Haman Jabani reports.
The evening with who and who in the public relations industry, policymakers, public and private sectors in attendance is to recognize and award all who have excelled in their PR profession. President of NIPR, Ike Nialiaku, emphasized the critical need for PR professionals to maintain high ethical standards in their work.
It is also for you to be able to showcase yourselves through prizes and awards that we presented to you. I leave you to enjoy the evening. I understand that good food has been prepared, drinks will be served, the atmosphere is wonderful, the hall is radiant, the evening is set.
Stakeholders commended the Institute for building trust, credibility, and responsible communication where misinformation spreads faster than facts.
We are entering a new era, one in which the voice of the spokesperson is not only heard, but is trusted, respected, and integrated into the governance ecosystem.
See, there's a healthy relationship between the National Assembly and the NIPR. So whatever they want us to do to add value, to give more deliverables to our country and to Africa and to the world at large,
we're there as lawmakers to help them.
The event, which celebrated excellence in strategic communication, saw 22 distinguished spokespersons from the corporate, government and private sectors receiving awards for their outstanding contributions to the PR industry, with the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited's Chief Corporate Communications Officer emerging as the spokesperson of the year.
The NNPC is a collective asset for all Nigerians, and all Nigerians are shareholders. So we have made it a point of duty to ensure that at each point in time we avail Nigerians with information about what is going on in NNPC. So we try as much as possible to be transparent and then to ensure that the information and news come out in a timely manner.
I feel highly elated that at least the little that we're doing is being recognized. And this is also a challenge because once you are called out to the public, more eyes will be on you. And it's an indication that you must also continue to do the best you can do to ensure that you justify that confidence that has been reposed in you.
The summit and awards ceremony provided a platform for intense reflection on the challenges facing Nigeria's PR industry, with a call for stricter adherence to professional standards and continuous skills development among practitioners. Hamad Jabani, NTA News.
And let's now take a look at Saturday's weather prospects for Nigeria and some parts of the world.